Welcome to the Men of Iron podcast, episode 1. My name is Steve Glick. I'm the director of communication and administration here at Men of Iron. I'd like to introduce our executive director, Garrett Barbush, in the house.
How you doing, Stevie?
Doing well, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to be doing this video podcast, man. This is exciting stuff.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a fun thing for 2018, and I'm excited to get rolling with this.
Yeah, I'm excited to kind of see how it goes and see if it's something we're gonna pursue, and hopefully we can get some feedback from some viewers. So those of you that are watching, make sure you guys let us know what you want to hear about, what you want to talk about, what should we talk about, all that good stuff. But
Definitely.
why don't you give them kind of the purpose, man? Why are we doing this, or why are we at least testing this out and considering to do this in 2018?
Yeah, the idea behind this and kind of some discussions internally as a team was we wanted to do this first and foremost to provide you, the viewer, with value. So these are going to be informative, educational. We'd love to bring guests on, talk about leadership, mentorship, and other important topics that I think can help men through their journey.
Yeah, it's interesting as I kind of been in the podcast world. I listen to podcasts, but I've noticed just personally I'm quicker to watch a video podcast that's 15, 20 minutes rather than sitting down and listening to an hour-long one. But I listen to them in the car a lot, and I think it's kind of it's something that we can do as an organization to maybe bring some more value to mentors and proteges, and even to men that aren't even involved in the ministry, but to inform them of what's going on with the ministry and the organization and all that good stuff. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and hopefully we can have some fun along the way too.
Absolutely, I think we will.
So we hope you enjoy it. Men of Iron, our vision is to change a culture, one man, one family, one church, one community at a time, and we do that through our Strong 27 mentorship ministry. So if you're new to Men of Iron, you don't know what we're about, that kind of gives you just a quick insight to what we do here.
Yeah. It's exciting times, man. End of 2017, heading into 18. It's a fun year. It's been a fun journey as I look back over. Gosh, it's been like 6 years.
That's crazy.
Personally, that I've been here. It's
cool.
It's been wild to
peaks
like
and valleys through those 6 years, I'm sure.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's been a fun ride, a fun journey, and there's, like you said, there's been a lot of ups and downs. But just to kind of see what God's done with the ministry and what He continues to do, it's good stuff. So we're just very, very grateful to be here. And I mean, I would have never thought, we'd be sitting down to do a video podcast, but
that's pretty cool.
That's what Stevie Glick brings to the table, right?
Hey, part of the team, man.
So what's going on, man? Let's start with a little update. Like, what's going on in the life of Steve Glick? You've had some exciting stuff happening this year.
Yeah, man. 2017 was a big year for myself and my wife, Ashley. We introduced our baby daughter, Pearl Violet, into the family, our first child. So obviously that's a big deal. Shout out to Pearl.
Yeah, you got to give Pearl a shout out.
Oh, yeah.
It's been fun watching you in that journey, man. Being a dad, I remember like the excitement, the first one, the joys that you get as a dad, especially with a little girl.
Oh yeah, it's unreal.
It's something different. It's something different. I don't know how to explain it to dads that don't have girls, but those of you that do, you know what the heck we're talking about. But it's been cool as your friend to kind of sit back and watch you really embrace that. Yeah, man,
I appreciate
that role of fatherhood, and it's different though, isn't it?
It is, man. You have buddies that have gone through it before you and tell you just about the moment that baby's born, and it just like something clicks, and you're like, yeah, all right, I'm sure it's great. But then when it actually happens, it's an unreal experience.
It is. I remember just that first, probably the first 6 months of like our first daughter being born. It was like trying to just transition and balance that role of like father and husband, because that all changes. It's a difficult balance to try and figure out loving your wife differently and all that good stuff. But all exciting stuff. And what else in 2017? Anything else?
Well, came on full time at Men of Iron. That's pretty big.
That is big, man.
Officially came on part time. I guess that would have been July of 2016.
Right.
So then May of 2017, this guy over here decided to bring me on full time. So
I don't know what the heck I've been thinking since then. No, it's good, man. We're glad to have you on board. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's a blessing for sure. It's cool to see just how God worked through all of that as well. I mean, it went from me just kind of sending my resume on a whim and kind of at the butt kicking of my wife as well, telling me, you want to work for a great organization, you love Men of Iron, you've been involved in Men of Iron, why not try to work for them? I'm like, never thought of it, but let's do it.
Yeah, that's kind of the story behind it. Steve sent me a resume and emailed me and says, hey, you know, I know you don't have any positions open, but in case there ever are, let me know. And it was funny because that's basically how everyone here has been hired, has been by reaching out and saying, hey, I have an interest in working for Men of Iron. Is there anything that would fit me? So congrats to you, Steve, on your boldness and all that good stuff. But
appreciate it.
Yeah, 2017, man, it's been a journey for us too. It's introduced our second daughter.
Gonna say doubled over.
Man, I'll tell you what, she has been giving us a run for our money too. Kendall was easy. Blake's a little bit more healthy, thank God. Like you know, that's all we care about, really, at the end of the day. But boy, she's got a personality that is much different than our first. Very strong-willed. I say she acts like her mother. My mother says that she's exactly like I was, so I agree to disagree. But anyway, yeah, man. 2017, we had Blake. We went to Disney World, so that was fun. We went to Disney World as a family. My father-in-law and mother-in-law took their entire family to Disney World, and we did that this past summer. That was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And Kendall Lou's still acting like a princess, isn't she?
Oh man, princess dresses every single day. I'm a new prince every single day when I come home from work. I'm either Prince Eric. Sometimes I'm, you know, I don't even know all the guys that. Oh, Beast. That was Beast last night. I'm like, what kind of prince is that, right? Dad, I'm Belle. You're Beast. I'm like, that just doesn't make any sense. But
I love it.
Anyway, she's in a fun stage, and I would say that probably the other highlight is I did a trip to Crested Butte, Colorado for a couple days for some leadership development with a ministry called Rhythm and 20. And, man, that was awesome. I had never been on that side of the state before in Colorado, and Crested Butte was amazing. I will go back there.
Colorado's
I mean,
beautiful.
I will go back to Crested Butte, Colorado. That is for sure. So other than that, man, what else is going on? It's Christmas time. We've got, I mean, what else is going on?
That's it right now. That's the...
You guys laying low? You going somewhere? What do you got going on?
I mean, we got, I feel like we have 20 places to go, but
right.
That's the holiday season.
4 Christmases.
4 Christmases, yeah. It's always fun, though. Like, I love, you know, seeing Ashley's side of the family. I love seeing my side of the family. So, obviously, it's a new experience with Pearl this year.
Right.
Getting to watch her open the presents will be a lot of fun. Even though she's going to care more probably about the wrapping paper than the actual present.
Yes, exactly.
At this age, it doesn't take much to entertain these kids.
That's exactly right, man. That is so true. So, well, let's talk a little bit about the kind of moving into 18. What is one of the goals of this podcast is to be informative, to be educational, but to also be inspirational, right?
Yep.
So, you know, one of the things that we do is we kind of throw out these monthly challenges, and this month is all about kind of goal setting.
Yep.
And, you know, at Men of Iron, we really like to, and through Strong 27, we really like to try to simplify that whole process. Like,
Yep.
There's so many people that will set New Year's resolutions and then they fail within the first 30 days, right? And when it comes down to it, it's a matter of priority. It's a matter of discipline. Mm-hmm. It's a matter of really just kind of courage and grit, right?
Yeah,
I mean, a lot
definitely.
of people just don't carry those characteristics and traits in their lives. So, you know, we try to simplify the whole process, and we're like, all right, well, what defines you as a man? Like, you know, and so we really looked at the 5 F's. That's really, it's not something that we came up with. I'm not even sure really where it originated from, but faith, we believe family, friends, fitness, and finances. And within finances is sort of your career as well. But, you know, those are the 5 F's: faith, family, friends, fitness, finances. We find that, man, I don't think that we're ever in balance, right? Like, we're never in perfect balance.
Right.
I don't think that balance can really ever be achieved, but perfect balance.
Right.
But I think it's never fighting. Like, it's a process where you're constantly fighting for balance as a man. And so I have talked to those people that will say, oh, I don't think that you can ever achieve balance, so what's the point of even talking about it? I tend to disagree. I think that, while we may never be in perfect balance, I think we should be struggling and fighting for that every single day. So, we do a ministry here called Equilibrium, which a lot of you might not even know about, but it takes guys away on a weekend retreat where we set a plan for your 5Fs for the year and for 6 months to a year. But, there at that, you get an opportunity to kind of set your goals for the 5Fs. Right. So I don't know. I think that was this month's goal, right? Stevie was kind of set some goals around your 5Fs.
Yeah, that was our challenge, to challenge guys to take a look at the 5Fs. Maybe you probably never heard of it before, but to take a look at what the 5Fs stand for first and foremost, and to sit down and really think about what your 2018 goals look like.
Right.
And I think accountability is huge. I look back at this past year, and fitness, as far as my fitness, was getting to the gym on a regular basis 3 times a week. And I have 2 buddies that we kind of decided Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock a.m., we'd be there at the gym. And we hold each other accountable. So if one of us is not there, we make sure to make fun of them. And
great encouragement.
Exactly. Kick their butts and tell them, look, stop being lazy and get your butt to the gym. So that's been huge. I mean, obviously, every week we haven't made it 3 times a week. There's been weeks where maybe we didn't even go at all, but that accountability has encouraged myself and each of the other 2 guys to make it a priority.
Yeah.
So I think accountability is a huge factor in all of this.
It really got me thinking about, there's a lot of talk about accountability, right? I mean, there really is. There's a ton of talk about this idea of accountability in our lives as men, as women, whatever it might be, but my experience is that when we enter some sort of accountability relationship, my experience, and Stevie, I don't know about you, but it's been this whole idea of you get the accountability piece for about 30 days and then it just kind of fizzles out. We're afraid to challenge one another. It's hard. Yep. It's that iron sharpening iron, right? It's that friction. Right. And really that's what we need in order to grow and stretch and really get to the next level. Yeah. So I really have had this philosophy that very, very few people in today's world actually have true accountability in their lives. Okay. And the whole process with the 5Fs, it's not so that you can sit down and say, okay, well, what do I want to accomplish with my faith this year? And then you've got 15 goals underneath that. No, there should be probably 1 or 2 things at the most that you're saying, hey, this is what I want to do. So I know, for me this year, it was my 5F goal was to be in God's Word every single day. Now, did I bat 1,000 on that? No. Right. But it was smart, it was specific, it was measurable, it was attainable, it was realistic, it was time-bound. So, that was my goal, right? Yep. That was kind of what I thought about. In regards to my faith, I wanted to pray with my family every single day. And so I've tried to make it a habit this year, in 2017 at least, to, before I walk out the door to come to the office or whatever, that I'm getting my girls, I'm getting my wife, and I'm praying over them, I'm praying for protection over them, whatever it might be, but that was a goal of mine. Did I bat 1,000? Right. No, there were days that I was rushing around, or maybe I left the house before they were even up, or whatever it might be, but I think your goals need to be simple, they need to be, powerful, but we shouldn't have a list of 5 under each F. There should really be, I try to keep it to 1 to 3. I know 2 is kind of my max, but sometimes there is a third one in there. But it's just been a very rewarding process for me. I don't know if you've ever really gone through the actual 5Fs and set goals.
No, but that's a big thing I'm excited about for just the ending this year well, is to sit down and go through those 5Fs.
Yeah, and it really brought a lot of clarity to me, and this is what I hope will be an encouragement to listeners and to viewers today, is that, it's going to bring a lot of clarity and simplicity to your life, meaning that, you have these 5Fs, you're taking everything that's going on in life, and you're kind of honing it down, right? And, okay, this is what I'm focusing on this year. But it had such an impact on my focus that I'm like, you know what? I need to introduce this to my wife. And so we actually this past year got away a couple weekends where we set some quarterly retreats where we got away for a day or 2. And we did that at the end of 2017, end of 2016, where we set some goals for 2017, and they were based on the 5Fs. We talked about what we want to do as a couple, and there's these things that you can do, and keep this in mind for those of you watching, is you can do what one of our board members calls a 5F combo, which is, okay, hey, if I know I got to get my butt working out, but getting my butt working out takes me away from my family, how do I combine those two? So this year, Eden and I really made a habit of doing family runs together.
That's awesome.
So, I'd come home and from work maybe a little bit earlier than I normally would. We'd get the girls in the jogging stroller. We'd go out and, we'd do a run together. And then, maybe my run is a little bit different than her run. So I'd run 2.5 miles, 3 miles with Eden and the girls. And then we'd get back home and Eden would say, okay, hey, go do your other 2.5, at your pace. And so I'd go do that. So, but it was really a time where we as a family could, get together and do our thing. So I just really recommend it. I mean, just do it, get away. You got to shut down for a couple hours to really bring some clarity to what you want to accomplish. But the accountability, setting the right tone for 2018, it's what you got to do to be successful.
Yeah, that's great. I think obviously sitting down and setting your goals individually is important, but definitely for all the married men out there, sitting down with your wife and going through the 5 F's as a married couple, I think is very important as well.
Well, I mean, what would you recommend to the single guy? He's going to set his individual goals, but I think that next step for him is the accountability piece. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Bringing somebody else into that journey.
Yep. Whether that's your mentor, whether it's family member, a close friend. Yeah, I think accountability. We talked about it is huge.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just know it's been very, very helpful for me just to bring that clarity to my life of saying, hey, and most guys, if you look, now this is a men's ministry, so I'm going to talk about men here, but you look, when we go away on these retreats and they evaluate their 5 F's, most have 2 out of the 5 that are functioning at a high level.
Yep.
But the other 3 are kind of dismissed. And so you've got this, super spiritual man that might be overweight, out of shape, not making money or whatever it might be. So how useful is he going to be? Yeah, but I hear the voice of God, right? Well, okay, but how useful are you going to be in this moment, right? So it's important. You can't let 1 F slide because it can sink your ship, in a hurry. So you've got to really focus in on fighting for the balance in all 5 of them.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you even look at something as important as faith. We have faith as number 1 there. You can be doing all the right things, all the good things, volunteering your time at church, and still neglecting your family.
Right.
So I think balance is key.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Well, speaking of family, let's bring up January 20th. If you're listening or you're watching, Saturday, January 20th, my wife and I, Eden, are going to be hosting a workshop here at Supply in Manheim, Pennsylvania. It's basically called our Family Values Workshop. And so one of the things that Stevie, I got really overwhelmed with this year was the whole concept of like, oh my gosh, I'm a father to 2 girls. Yep. I'm a wife, I'm a leader of this ministry. I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm an uncle. And all these things were hitting me, right? And there's a lot of different demands out there that's going to pull you in every different direction. And the struggle for me was to say, okay, hey, there's a lot of good things that I can instill in my family.
Yep.
But like, what are the ones that I want my family to be known for? Like, if I'm dead and gone tomorrow, or when my daughters leave the house in 18 years, whenever it might be, like, what are the values that I want to see and that we as a couple, me and Eden, want to see instilled in these girls? And it really got me thinking, So Eden and I started a process probably about 3 months ago where we went out, we did a date day, we said, okay, hey, what's really important to us as a family? We laid out our priorities. And from those priorities, we had a whole piece of paper that was just filled with, hey, we want our kids to go to church. We want them to be in youth group. We want, our kids to be physically active. We want them to eat well. We want all these things. And it was like, holy cow, how do we do all this really well? Right? And so we had to narrow that list even down further and narrow that list even down further. And we basically came down to this process of creating family values, 6 values.
Awesome.
And I won't bore everyone with those today, but found a scripture to go with each of those values, put a statement with each of those values. And that now is going to be what drives me and Eden as a mother and a father, and us as a couple, as a married couple, on how we're going to lead our family. And these are the values that we want to instill. And so it's been such a rewarding and very, very challenging process that we're getting to that point where we just felt led to share this process with other people. So Saturday, January 20th, if you're out there, you want to start the new year out right in your marriage and with your kids. Even if you're a single parent, you're not married, this workshop is for you. Because it really will give you some clarity and direction on how to move forward as a parent, and how to move forward with instilling these values into your family. So it's $99. That will get you breakfast, lunch, pays for this facility, pays for our time together. I think it starts at like 8 a.m. It's going to go to about 1:30. What's the link, Stevie? Tell
Yeah,
them
it's
the
an
link.
awesome opportunity. Go to menofiron.org/events, and you'll see just a little bit of information about it. You can click on the link and get your tickets.
Awesome.
Yeah.
menofiron.org/events. Are you guys coming?
We are coming. Yeah.
Stevie and Ashley are going to be there. That's right there.
Hey, we didn't
is-
get our tickets, but we're coming.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Good deal. Well, I think it's kind of a good time to move into our recap. What do you think? Kind of a 2017 recap as an organization?
Yeah.
I mean, Stevie, when you think of 2017 from a Men of Iron standpoint, organizational standpoint, what comes to mind? Like, what are the highlights?
The word that comes to mind is growth. Just seeing myself come on, seeing 2 part-timers come on. It's just cool to see the staff grow
Right.
as this ministry grows. It's very rewarding to be kind of on the ground floor of this and to see where you have taken it, where you and Brian have taken it, and to see where it can go from here is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I get that sometimes. Like, where you've taken it, I'm like, I don't even know what. Like, the Lord's just opened up doors, man. And I think that the biggest piece of leadership sometimes is knowing which doors to kind of walk through, and knowing when a door's open and when a door's shut. But.
Yep.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, we brought Stevie on full-time this year, as he said earlier. We brought 2 part-time guys on, part-time, what we call our regional representatives, one in Florida, one in Ohio, Brian Ziegler, and in Florida, Chris Johnson. We moved into our new office space.
It's a beautiful space.
Supply, if you have not checked it out, make sure you go to supplymanheim.com.
I mean, just look at the light in this room.
Right. We look very beautiful in this room right now. The lighting.
Yeah, the lighting helps for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that itself was a challenge for me. I had never dealt with an office move and furniture, and there's all kinds of crazy stuff you got to worry about.
I mean, even thinking about working in an open environment over there, all of a sudden we go from working in separate offices to one room, and we're all staring at each other trying to get some work done. So
It's been a good move. If you have not worked in a co-working space or like an open workspace, we have our own dedicated office here, but we actually have an open workspace. So we've kind of this concept where we've got desks in this big room and we're all facing each other, and it's been good though.
Yeah.
I've found it pretty good, but it's been a great move for us as a staff.
it has.
It's really brought a lot of opportunity to build our own culture, and it's been good. I'm enjoying it. I feel like our what's the word I'm looking for? Like the culture, but also just the reality of what we're doing has kind of come to life by making this move. So
Agree.
we've launched some community models.
We have
Where were they all at? Mannheim Strong 27.
Mannheim Strong 27, Barron Nation.
Yeah, Barron Nation. Hashtag Barron Nation for those of you Mannheim Barons watching or viewing.
Yeah, Garrett likes Mannheim, if you didn't know.
They're born and bred to rip and shred. All right. So we launched a community model. We always talked about, like, our biggest challenge, no offense to pastors and churches,
Right.
but our biggest challenge has always been those partnerships with pastors and churches. And so that's really what we said. Well, what would this look like if we were able to launch the ministry like on the outside walls of the church? Like if we were outside the walls of the church, what would it look like? And so we did that. We met with our founder, Brian Zemer, and actually my brother, Justin. We met with them originally to say, hey, would you guys, they kind of had this idea to launch this in Mannheim. And so they went out and they found these mentors. We asked these guys to be engaged as mentors. And we did something a little bit different with that community model, Steve. We actually had those mentors go out and find their protege, which was something we had never done before.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, it's worked really, really well.
Yep.
It's worked really well. So anyway, that went extremely well. We're looking to launch more in 2018.
Yeah.
And so thank you to all of you mentors and proteges in Mannheim Strong 27 that did not know exactly what you were getting involved in, but you committed, and we just had a meeting here the other day with all of those guys at 6:15 in the morning, and it's been cool to watch, what's happening there. So, man, Stevie, why don't you give him a little update on like 2018, what's around the corner for Men of Iron and what's going on? And
Yeah, it's
the next
exciting.
90 days is going to be a little nutty.
To kind of take a peek into 2018. Obviously, as an organization, we've been planning for 2018 for the past, 6 months. The launches, we got a lot of launches, Ohio, New Jersey, Lancaster. So those are all early 2018.
Yeah.
Florida as well. So that's exciting. It's exciting to think about the men that will be there, the impact it will have on these men, and the impact that will carry from these men to their families, to the churches, to the communities. It's pretty awesome to think about.
Yeah, so Saturday, February 10th is our date in Ohio. We're launching what we call Stark Strong 27. So Stark County, we've gone, since we brought Brian on part-time out there as a regional rep, we went from one church partnership to 11, which is crazy.
It's unreal.
It's crazy. 11 church partners.
Shout out Brian.
11 months.
Kicking butt.
Brian Ziegler is doing a heck of a job. But I really think, too, like we can say all about Brian, and that he's been awesome, the influence. But what I've found it to be is a testament to, like, when you're obedient to what God calls you to do. And I really felt like God was telling us to go out there and make an investment. Yeah. And we did that. And Brian, we crossed paths with Brian Ziegler. And Brian's now walking in what I believe is his calling, And so it's gone from 1 to 11. And so when God shows up, he's going to show off a little bit. And,
I agree.
I think that's what happens. So anyway, we're excited about that. February 10th, we'll be with 11 church partners, a couple independent mentors and proteges. I think we're expecting, like 150 men, something like that in Stark County. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, we can't wait to be out there.
New Jersey is April-ish?
I believe April.
So before that is actually our Lancaster launch, right?
Yep.
Lancaster, Pennsylvania, March 24th.
March 24th, and then I believe New Jersey is April 14th.
April 14th, right. So, man, we've got a busy first quarter.
We do.
And then it's going to get even a little bit nuttier from there. So, speaking of New Jersey, just for those of you that are watching and viewing, if you are looking for a great men's conference, man, this thing is legit. They do a great job with it. It is Friday, February 23rd, Saturday, February 24th.
Yep.
I think it starts in the evening on the 23rd, kind of runs through that night, and then it picks back up Saturday morning until I think just after lunchtime, I believe. But Fellowship Alliance Chapel, which is one of our church partners in Medford, New Jersey, they host an unbelievable men's conference. I feel very fortunate. I was just asked last week to be one of the speakers this year on Friday night, so I'm excited about that. But, man, if you're looking for a great men's conference, go to their website, Fellowship Alliance Chapel. I think it's myfac.org, I believe.
Yeah, we're excited. We'll put some details on our Facebook page as well.
But if you're in the Mid-Atlantic area, you're looking for a great men's conference, man, come on out. Eric Rebstock down there, the men's pastor, does a phenomenal job with that event. So we're excited about being involved there. But, well, hey, I want to wrap up. I want to just say, for those of you that have been watching or viewing this and you have been an advocate of Men of Iron, man, thank you, Stevie. We have some phenomenal support, man.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I mean, just from your time on here this year, it's not, like, I can't express my gratitude enough to people that they might not even be involved in the ministry at all, and they're saying, hey, we love what you do. Yep. We just want to financially support what you guys are about and what you're doing and what God's called you to do. And listen, we can't be doing things like this without their support. So thank you. Seriously, from the bottom of our hearts, we are extremely grateful. It allows each of us to be pursuing the calling that God has given us as individuals, but even more importantly, the calling that God's given us as an organization. So men's lives depend on this, and so we're excited to be doing it. So thank you to all of our donors, all of our advocates. So what do we have to look forward to in 2018, Stevie? We get what? Tell them what's more to come here, the final thoughts.
Yeah, this is Men of Iron Podcast Episode 1, kind of a trial run for us, but we will be doing one a month for the next year.
Awesome.
So got that to look forward to and get to see our pretty mugs for the next 12 episodes.
And if feedback's strong and viewership's strong, we'll just continue to put more out.
Yeah.
That's the plan for right now,
Yeah,
is one
definitely.
a month. But
And as well, we would love your feedback. If you're watching, we would love your feedback in the comments on our Facebook page. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you would love to see and get out of these podcasts.
I love it.
We're excited for the next one in January.
Stevie, this is episode 1 officially coming to a close, buddy. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure.
All right, guys, we'll see you later.